WECT's First Alert Weather presents Winter in the Cape Fear.
And we start this morning with a live look over Battleship Park. What do you notice there?
I see the river's calm.
It's not that hard. No. You're supposed to be seeing all that snow, right?
I do see the snow, but I see the reflection too. The river looks really nice this morning.
Yeah, but you're waking up to snow this morning, that's for sure. Hi, everybody.
I think just about everybody.
Everybody is waking up to snow this morning. Thanks for joining us for Carolina in the Morning.
We're glad that you are with us this morning, and we really do have you covered because we have team coverage on what you need to know. Right now we have Zach Driver, Colin Hackman. They are out checking conditions on roads and bridges, looking for those DOT crews out there this morning to make sure those roads are safe.
Kaylee Tracy's in Whiteville with an update from Columbus County, but we do want to go to the chief this morning with details of a forecast we want to be able to hear because we've got some good news, I guess, now in the next couple of hours, correct?
Well, no more snow and ice is jumping on the pile, at least right now. We've got a clean radar scan. You know, a lot of us in that 1, 2, 3 inch realm as far as sleet and snow. If you're doing any regional travel, we've got the red light on it, meaning of course, you know, you want to take it easy on the regional roads because this was not just a local event, but a regional event. Of course, meteorologist Colin Hackman, you left your full-time post a few years ago, but we always secure you on a part-time basis in situations like these. Good to see you this morning. How you doing?
Yeah. Well, it's good to be here. And, you know, Gannon, you and I talked about this. I'm a big fan of the winter weather because you get a lot of eyes and there's a lot of buzz. And, of course, the kids love it. But typically, if people stay off the roadways, you don't have too many casualties or issues with injury. I'm on 3rd Street right now. Mike Pelzer and I, Mike, if you want to go straight ahead, traffic is starting to pick up. But the big problems that we're seeing out here this morning, Gannon, is that people don't really have a particular lane to drive in. And the stoplights don't seem to be operating correctly.
Colin, how's the traction on the road for you this morning? Because from this point of view, it looks like you're literally driving over ice.
Yeah, well, so it probably looks like we're driving faster than what we are. So we're driving about 15 miles per hour. It feels like ice. This vehicle has traction control, so we're able to not skid, not slide, but we're taking it really easy as most people are. It's the big trucks like this one, if Mike can take a look now, which is peculiar, is that the Brunswick River Bridge and the Isabella Holmes Bridge, they're scraped right up to the bridge, and then for whatever reason, the DOT has not scraped the bridge itself, so you'll go from relatively clear conditions to 5, 6, 7 inches of snow that has been left on the bridges. And it can make it pretty dangerous.
Wow, I bet, yeah.
Do you think because it packs down the ice and that becomes because it's slick anyway, when it rains, that could very well be an issue?
Obviously, yeah, that could be an issue. You know, I'm not a traffic engineer and I don't know what the thinking is. I do know that nobody will be injured in an accident there if they're not on the roads.
You got that right. Yeah. All right, yeah, so just stay off the roads. Unfortunately, some folks have to go out to work today, especially those truck drivers. They've got a job to do.
And especially in this hit, it's like Zach and Colin were 2 ships that passed in the night because just a couple of blocks down the street, we saw Zach Driver Market and Front Street look like an ice rink.
Yeah.
Not 15 minutes ago. We want to check in with him right now to see where he's located now and how things are going this morning. Zach, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I am here on 3rd Street, pretty much as you're heading onto MLK or coming off of the Isabel Holmes Bridge. And as you can see, the road is closed. You know, this kind of section of MLK has a lot of bridges, a lot of places where it could get really icy and bad. We've seen some cars kind of pulling up towards MLK off of 3rd Street. The snow, but this ice, guys, it is so thick on the road and so kind of compacted that that's where the real issue is coming, is through that ice. The snow is easy to kind of kick off and move, but everything else, that's pretty compacted onto the road.
All right, Zach, thank you. We appreciate that update. We'll check back with you later in this newscast.
And while Colin and Zach have been sort of driving around to help check out the roads, we also have the First Alert traffic cameras, the DOT's cameras across the Port City. So we want to take a look at a few of those. The first one here is Market Street at the South College ramp here, and you can see that still a lot of snow, a lot of ice on the road. You can expect that for the next few hours. And as you heard Zach say, MLK Parkway, Colin mentioned it too, MLK Parkway closed from South Car to 3rd Street, so do not head that way. You will not be able to get through. We can tell you that Brunswick County's I-140 remains closed as well. Pender County, no road closures, but you will notice flashing lights at some of the intersections. Columbus County, Bladen County, no known closures, and we can tell you the ferries are not running, which is not a surprise this morning, but there's no ferry.
And the takeaway from two of the people on the field is that do not pay attention necessarily or assume that those traffic lights are going to work at some of those major intersections.
They might not, yeah.
They might not, because some of the sensors could be off because of the cold and the moisture that we're seeing out there this morning. The storm creating problems for passengers at Wilmington International Airport as well. This is a live look at the airport's arrivals and departures schedule. All other flights in and out of Wilmington so far this morning have been canceled. And to add insult to injury, some people in the area are dealing with power outages this morning. Taking a look at this map now, we've gone provider by provider and looking at Duke, 4 County, Brunswick County Electric. More than 300 customers in total are without power. The vast majority of those are in spots in New Hanover County. In some cases, we've heard the power could be on by 9 o'clock this morning. All right, with the weather, of course, lots of folks not having to go to work or school today. We have a quick rundown of some of the school closings, which include just about every school in our area. New Hanover, Brunswick, Pender, Columbus County schools all closed, along with Whiteville City schools closed. That is for students and staff. Bladen County schools, UNC Wilmington, Cape Fear Community College, Brunswick Community College also closed for students and staff, and you'll find the entire list for you of school business closings, daycare closings. It's all available for you any time of the day on the WECT News app and on WECT.com. Hey, we want to hear from you. How are you enjoying the winter outside? Are you enjoying it all? Are your kids enjoying it? Or are you just going, it's one of those days where we can stay inside? Share the pictures with us. We'll share your pictures after the break. And taking a live look at the WECT courtyard. The ice sculpture. Gabe's keeping a close eye on the ice sculpture for us this morning. Oh no.
Nope, didn't stick.
You didn't stick? Okay, well, good. A disaster. We've got Gannon, of course, tracking the weather as well. We've got much more still to come here on Carolina in the Morning.
First Alert Traffic is sponsored by Andrews Mortuary. Pre-planning your funeral service provides peace of mind and personal choice. Learn more at andrewsmortuary.com. This is Chief Meteorologist Gannon Medwick with your First Alert weather.
Great to have you alongside at 6:13 on a Thursday morning, coming off a wintry Wednesday and Wednesday night, of course, this 7-day forecast period. Gabe, who's colder out there, you or the ice sculpture?
Definitely gonna say the ice. No, for sure me. This is definitely the kind of bundle up weather we're talking about. People, pets, plants, pipes. You've got to watch out for it because temperatures really not, as you see right there in the 7-day, not going to go very far above freezing the next couple of days. If I could find a good hill, this will be sledding weather to get out and enjoy. We're back after this.
You are watching WECT's Carolina in the Morning.
We are here at the corner of the intersection of Market and 5th, where the snow has stopped coming down. But
Zach, thank you. Yeah, the sun, I think it might be more of a psychological boost than a temperature boost. By early next week, guys, back to you.
All right, Gannon, thank you. Hey, we got our team coverage continuing this morning. Kaylee Tracy's in Columbus County. Things looking much better there than here. They've looked pretty good. The roads especially. Kaylee's been out there. We started this morning at 4:30, almost 2 hours ago, and some of those roads looked pretty good this morning. So let's check in with Kaylee once again and see if there have been any changes, what she's seeing out there again this morning.
Well, Kim and Bill, not too much has changed out here besides this cup of coffee in my hand. A nice man, actually, in a time where the roads can be dangerous and there are treachery conditions out here, people still care, and everyone out here has been pretty nice, honking at me and saying stay safe. So just to let you know, the roads out here are a little slick in Columbus County, so you still do need to be careful. There are plows out there and salt trucks, though, trying to keep an eye on things out there. Kim and Bill?
That could very well be the weather word of the day, consideration.
Consideration.
Right? Think of that. Not only if you're on the road with somebody else, but you see someone on the side of the road. You don't want to do that slush pile to their feet as you're driving by, right? Pay close attention to that. All right, Kaylee, thank you very much. We've gotten lots of pictures from people having fun in the snow. Yeah,
Eddie Center shared this. Her dog, Bongo, pulling her son, Ollie, on a sled in the snow. I guess sometime, last night?
Whoa. He's got that jaw clamp going. That's a little dog to be able to pull that big, huh?
And if you don't have a actual sled, I've lived here long enough that lets you know that you can use boogie boards. Boogie boards work well, too.
There you go. Edie's smiling. She's going to be laughing and sharing that all day long. Good for you guys.
Of course, yeah.
Have fun and stay safe today. And also some video of a little girl, Briley Sue, enjoying her first snow.
Oh, look at her.
Mom, what's that?
She said, pick me up, I'm too cold.
Her mom, Meg, sent us this picture of Briley trying to catch her first snowflake.
Catch it on her tongue. We want to see your pictures, so share them with us online. We'll share them here on Carolina in the Morning. You can go to the See It, Snap It, Send It section on your WECT News app on WECT.com and send those photos to us.
Yeah, sure. We'd love to be able to share them back to you right here on TV.
Yeah. All right, let's check roads once again this morning using our First Alert traffic cameras. This is what it looks like at Market Street at the South College Road ramp. You do see a few cars on the road. The one thing, and you can notice from this traffic camera, is it's very difficult to determine the lanes here. You don't know where one lane is, where another one starts and ends. So, take it easy out there this morning. Stay off the roads, really, if you do not have to be out this morning.
I know it's my job not to be judgmental. It's hard not to be, though. Look, some of those cars look like they're driving pretty fast.
They do.
Considering the fact that it looks like just a sheet of ice out there. So pay close attention to that. Be safe. We're back in a moment.
WECT's First Alert Weather presents Winter in the Cape Fear.
And winter it is. Good morning, everyone. As we take a live look now over the snow that we're seeing from the battleship North Carolina, while all the snow and ice really are pretty to look at, it is a very different story. If you're driving this morning, you do want to be careful.
Exactly. We've got team coverage with Kaylee Tracy in Columbus County. Zach Driver and Colin Hackman are on the road this morning, driving around the Port City, giving us conditions. Gabe Ross here in the WECT courtyard. And good morning. I'm Kim Ratcliffe. Thanks so much for being with us here on Carolina in the Morning.
Yeah, and I'm Bill Murray. Hey, we want to get right to everyone in the field in just a moment. But first, we got the big cheese over here. The big question now is the sun going to do us any favors today?
Very little.
Okay.
Yeah. Sunshine, dry air. It helps.
Good.
But the warming that the sun will provide is only marginally above freezing at the most.
Okay.
So we're talking about mid-30s for highs. There's a slow melting process as a takeaway there. But one of the takeaways from our radar and our traffic cameras and our New Earth Motors First Alert Skycam network this morning is, for example, Southport. And we're done precipitating. So skies have cleared here. We'll expand the forecast to the next 7 days in just a few. Back to you.
All right, sir, thank you. Lucky if you're able to stay in this morning. Consider yourself lucky because lots of people won't be able to do that. You're watching it from the comfort of your home. There will be people out and about today. They're getting into their car, and there's always that risk.
There is.
Right?
It's much more dangerous, of course, if you're heading out this morning. We've got teams checking on the roads. Right now, we've got Zach Driver, Colin Hackman, both of them out and about this morning, basically so you don't have to be. First, let's check in with Colin, who's kind of been all over town this morning. So where are you now, Colin?
Well, we're headed south on US 421, Carolina Beach Road, south of Monkey Junction. Zach Driver, he's at 5th and Market Street. Zach?
Yeah, thanks, Colin. Like you said, black ice, definitely a big concern here this morning. We've seen some cars, the most up-to-date information as possible.
All right, Zach, thank you very much. Yeah, be careful out there this morning. That's a treacherous road.
Got the truck going right by them, right, exactly. They do that little loop-de-loop anyway.
All right, Zach, thanks. All right, several emergency shelters are open to help people escape the cold. One of them, Switching Gears, which is a bicycle ministry, opened its doors a few days ago as a shelter. Bill Murray spent the night there. For a little insight as to what goes on in the overnight hours at shelters like this. The one takeaway, no one takes a warm roof for granted.
So it'll be an interesting night. I'm here at Switching Gears, which is one of the shelters open.
Tomorrow's another day.
Tomorrow is another day.
That day, now with the sun coming up, right? Going to be a big interesting thing. It'll be interesting to see what happens today, because in many cases like that, when they open those emergency shelters, there are downtown havens. One of them, depending on how you look at it, fortunately or unfortunately, the library. Okay? Well, we don't know what's going to happen with the library today. We've seen the roads downtown. It could very well be closed. So they don't know whether they're going to be able to stay open and keep those people in there today, or they're going to ask them to leave after 8:30, kind of regroup, clean the place up, get ready for tonight. But they do know it's going to be very cold today, tomorrow, and the next day. So they're just worried that people are going to be able to stay safe and they're going to be able to accommodate the people that are there.
Now, he was at capacity last night?
One bed was open. In the middle of the night, police who have been bringing people in to be able to say, I don't need to arrest you. You need to go to a warm place to spend the night. One guy walked in and then took a step back, turned around. It was snowing at the time. It was very windy, and he just kind of went into the darkness there on 12th Street. The guy went after him and said, I hope I can get him to change his mind, to realize this is indeed a safe haven. He came back by himself. Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
So that's someone who spent the night huddled up behind a tree on someone's porch, very cold.
For the most part, you think the majority of the people that were there last night plan to, if they can't stay there today, go back.
To be hopefully be able to go back, right?
In there tonight.
They have to be back there by 5 o'clock to be able to claim their spot, to claim their cot, putting their name down, saying, I'm reserving this spot with my stuff, and then they can come back later.
Any women and children?
There were 2 women there, 2 middle-aged women. Each cot was filled with someone who had their own story, you know?
Yeah.
It's very difficult to know what brings people there to begin with.
Did it change your perspective at all from
No, I've seen that before. I was surprised how orderly it was. I went 9 o'clock. This is my 5 o'clock a.m. shadow.
You can't really tell.
Right?
You shouldn't point that out.
Because I didn't get a chance to shave this morning. But I went at 9 to 3, thinking we had to come in early. We didn't know that yesterday, thinking that I'd be able to get a really good idea as to what was happening. I wanted to be able to sleep just like everyone would. I was surprised at how many people did the minute the lights went out.
Went to sleep. It's probably been a long time since.
Made me feel good that I'm not the only person who snores, because there may have only been 25 beds, but it sounded like there were 138 people snoring in there.
Wow.
But it was really good. It was comforting to know that those people felt comfortable enough to be able to close their eyes and get some sleep.
It's nice to know that they have somewhere to go, that somebody's willing to open up their business like that, and the ministry like that.
And again, they say they couldn't do it without volunteers, and those volunteers actually bringing in sleeping bags, making a big difference.
So if you've got sleeping bags or blankets, they really want sleeping bags because they want to be able to send folks with them as they leave, right? So more of a permanent thing for them. Sleeping bags, blankets, those kinds of things, that they're willing to take those.
Hey, we want to head to Columbus County now. We've got Kaylee Tracy, who's live there. She spent the night in Whiteville in a nice bed with a comforter, I'm sure, and blankets and a couple of pillows. And she is refreshed this morning to tell us what we can see if you're heading to work down there in Columbus County. Hi, Kaylee.
And the coffee that I was telling y'all a little earlier, a man was nice on. Please do not go out and drive unless you absolutely have to. And since I last talked to you, Bill and Kim, there have been a lot more people driving on this road. One man told me he's from the north and he can deal with this, but you never know what might be out there, black ice and poor conditions, so just be careful if you have to get out on those roads today.
Appreciate the perspective. I hate to tell you, you're playing second fiddle to that turn lane right behind you, because it is clear. So people aren't watching television in Columbus County going, oh, look at Kaylee. They're going, look, honey, the road's clear.
The roads look
right?
pretty good.
But again,
but they may not be.
Yeah, you got to be very careful because there could be some black ice there as well.
Yeah. All right, well, we've got lots of different DOT cameras we can check out as well across the Port City. So we want to do that right now. Show you one of our cameras here at Carolina Beach Road and Echo Farms Boulevard. It looks like, like a lot of Wilmington and other roads all around the area. It's still covered in ice and snow. You can't even tell the lanes. You can barely see the median here. So be careful. Do not go on the road if you do not have to. One thing to take note of, MLK Parkway closed from South Car to 3rd Street. Brunswick County's I-140 remains closed as well. So just stay home if you can.
First Alert Traffic is sponsored by Andrews Mortuary, Pre-planning your funeral service provides peace of mind and personal choice. Learn more at andrewsmortuary.com. This is Chief Meteorologist Gannon Medwick with your First Alert weather.
The photos, the reports, they're great. Keep them coming. We appreciate everyone. How about this one from Sloop Point, Pender County, doing very well in the sleet and snow department. Our Gabe Ross is doing that as he's been checking in from the courtyard so far this morning. Gabe, you're there again. That's a beautiful ice sculpture. Great point about the icicles dislodging from the gutters earlier. I thought that was great perspective. How's that ice sculpture doing, my man?
Hey, man, it's doing great. And, yeah, it feels every bit of that 14-degree feels like out here for the next several days with temperatures below the freezing mark. We'll send it over to Bob. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Gabe, yeah, while you're out there in the cold, we're back in the digital studio here. Been monitoring things, online, keep an eye on Facebook, Twitter, just everything to bring you up to speed with what's going on. And Twitter was one of the places we found some new information coming in. Wave Transit is now delayed. They're calling it a delayed operation until 10 o'clock this morning. So if you depend on bus service around Wilmington, that service will not be available to you until at least 10 o'clock this morning because of the conditions on the road. Speaking of which, give you a live look right now. That is a quick glance of the roadways. This is Carolina Beach Road at Echo Farms, and you can see still a lot of snow on the roadways, at least at this particular stretch. And that has been really the conditions around the area of Wilmington for the most part this morning, with a lot of the roadways still covered while the plows are out there and they put that brine down on the road that they're trying to get that stuff at bay. But slow goings wherever you are headed this morning if you have to be out. If you are at home, hopefully you have power. We are getting some reports of power outages around the area. Give you a quick tour around the area this morning. The first stop being from the Duke Energy Progress outage map. And you can see, a couple of outages. When we go around and kind of do a quick add of all of these, it's still coming in about 200 people affected by these power outages around the Wilmington area with Duke Energy Progress. As we switch over now to Brunswick Electric, this number earlier had been at 28. We're down to just 5 people, according to the latest outage map here with Brunswick Electric. So 5 outages there. This, you can see the truck here. Let's see if we can pull up an estimation here. So the current outage here, it's been a little more than 2 hours, but again, just 5 people dealing with this. They're estimating this to be back up and running around 9:30 this morning. And your 4-county electric service reloaded the map. And this has been clean all morning long and continues to be clean as we take a check of that this hour, this morning. Your airlines and everything, if you're trying to get out of Wilmington this morning, suffice it to say that the airlines have shut down this morning. The first scheduled flight, saying it is on time this morning, 11:24. That's a flight out of Wilmington bound for Atlanta. Other than that, all of the departures this morning have been taken off the board because of the weather at the airport, guys.
All right, at 6:56, checking your First Alert traffic across the Port City. A live look at Carolina Beach and Echo Farms. That is not a still picture. That is a live look. Very little traffic there right now, only in the distance. Other than that, the roads are just icy. You really do need to pay very close attention if you are unfortunate enough to have to go somewhere today. We want to check in with Colin now with what we're seeing on the roads firsthand. Colin?
I tell you what, Bill, it's amazing just the differential in snowfall accumulations as you move south of Monkey Junction. Basically, right when you get to Monkey Junction, you go from a trace of snow to 1, 2, maybe even 3 inches. I'm driving along College Road right now. We will continue to update all traffic issues and delays, but my advice, stay off the roadways. You can't see the lanes, and the traffic lights aren't all working.
All right, Colin, good to see you. Stay safe and have the sunglasses ready to go for today because it's going to be bright. It's going to reflect off that snow and ice. Not much melting today, Kim and Bill, because it's going to stay cold.
All right, we're going to continue with more for you on our sister station, Fox Wilmington, so follow us there.